are they? Where in the heck are they? I can't wait forever. You out there? Are you out there? Look. I have an incredible, life-changing experience that I want you to learn and change your life. But you gotta start taking action. You gotta start being here on time. You gotta start being eager to hear these videos. And you're gonna have to start taking notes, doing assignments. Yes, assignments, as if you were in school again. For those of you in school, yeah, extra assignments. Yes, I'm serious. And this is a lifelong learning experience. Now you're probably thinking, I'm not interested. Really? Did you see the title of this clip? Happiness forever. I want to make you happy forever. Happy forever. Part 2, clip 2, happy forever. Well, look, I'm going to give you some nuts and bolts. We're going to have distractions and people beating their horn because we're on location. And sometimes people just want to get into the act. And we're going to have darkness or light. We're going to have issues. But this is what I want you to listen to. I don't care if you can see my face at times. Listen to my voice. And yeah, there's some freaking bugs over here. So if I go like this, try not to be too distracted. Look, I'm going to tell you about a few plans. Oh, geez, I think I got a bite. Oh, sorry about that. But at any rate, I'm going to tell you about a few plans in this video and in future videos that can change your life. And my enthusiasm may not seem where it's at. My energy levels may be a little bit down right now. You might be like, oh gosh, this guy's boring. It's okay. But this is a lifelong experience. This is a lifelong learning experience. It means you're going to have to do homework. It means you're going to have to learn things you've never expected to learn. You're going to have to hire people in the future, like an accountant and an attorney, and who knows, maybe a stockbroker or whatever. Whatever the businesses that you're in, whatever advice, expert advice you need, you will have to put out more money for it. Now look, I know that's going to scare some people. Maybe it will scare you off. But what you did not hear me say is that you're going to lose money. Now you may lose money. Yeah, I said it. But if you need an accountant, if you need a CPA, that's the same thing as an accountant, but an attorney or a real estate broker or what have you, or whatever it may be, if you need those things, if you need a mortgage company, or if you need a property management company, if you need those things, it will be, I'm going to get a little viper here, it will be because you're making money. It will be because you are actually in the process of making money. So you need a tax attorney. You need an accountant. You need a property management company. You need funding to buy your extra homes. You see, my friends, you may need to put out money. And who knows, maybe throughout the rest of your life, you might put out $1 million. Yeah, don't leave. I said you might put out up to $1 million or more. So you're probably thinking, I don't have $1 million. You're probably thinking, I'll never have $1 million. But if you learn these things, and if you have 10, 15, 20, $30 million in your lifetime, hey, let me tell you something. I'll take that deal any day. If I have to spend $1 million to make 10 million, 50 million, or $100 million, hey, if I spent $1 million and after taxes and stuff, I still had $9 million left over because I made more than 10 million, I would exchange that. Yeah, that's a profit. That's a return on investment of $9 million. Now, I don't want you to get the idea that what we're going to do here is going to make you a million or 9 million or $10 million. It may make you a penny or nothing. Yet it may make you the levels of income that even I have not stated. It could make you, honestly, if we want to be 100% honest, if you learn these skills, it can make you an endless source of income. Now, what does that really mean? Well, again, if you don't take action, if you don't apply what you're being taught, once you are being taught, if you don't apply it, guess what? You're not going to make a penny. But if you go and you actually apply it, you could possibly make, I don't like to put a number on it, so instead of me putting a number on it, I'll give you a little bit of hypothesis. If you learn how to properly, safely, and correctly invest in real estate is everywhere on the planet. Every human being has somewhere to either live or try to live. That means you can be in Japan and use this real estate system that you may eventually learn about. You can be in Japan. You can be in Puerto Rico. You can be in America. You can be in India. You can be anywhere on earth. People will always need a place to live, whether it's a condominium, a multi-level, complex, or single-family home. Doesn't matter. People are always going to need somewhere to live. So, I said to you, I'm going to give you a hypothesis. If you learn how to properly, correctly, safely, and legally invest in real estate, I want to remind you that the majority now, not all, not every single business, but the majority of Donald Trump's business, yeah, that Donald Trump, the majority of his business is real estate, both residential, industrial, and commercial. So, let's think about that for a minute. Donald Trump made billions of dollars in real estate. So do you think that real estate is a good investment? Do you think learning how to properly do it is a good investment? Now you're probably thinking to yourself, yeah, it's a great investment. I don't have that amount of money. I'll never have that amount of money. But most people don't say, I'll never have that amount of money. What do they say? I'm not going to have that kind of money. Well, newsflash, it's the same kind of money. It's just more of it. And you listening to this, you believe that you can't have multi-millions of dollars, right? That's your mindset telling you that. That's the way you were brought up. That's the way you're taught. But you can reprogram this. Your mind, not this. That's my mind. That's my brain. But your brain, you can reprogram it. And you can learn how to think as an investor versus thinking as a consumer. Now, I'm not going to tell you I know all the answers. I am not going to tell you that I can be the Napoleon Hill, or I can even be, Jiminy Crickets, not Napoleon Hill, and then Jiminy Crickets. I can't remember his name right now. But not Robert Allen either. That was off camera. That was in that Jiminy Crickets. The guy that did The Power of Positive Thinking. Okay?
Or Vincent
There you go. She said it. Norman Vincent Peale. I can't promise you that I can be Norman Vincent Peale. I can't promise you I can be Tony Robbins. But I can promise you that if you will work on reprogramming your brain, thinking in the positive and learning to be thinking as an investor versus a consumer, that you, no matter if you join this plan, you join my plan, you join Scott Yancey's real estate millionaire, or what, I mean, not real estate millionaire, but Scott Yancey's real estate educational system, or whatever, if you change the way you think, and if you learn what you need to learn, and put the actual work into it, and you got to change the way you think now. I didn't say it was easy. I never said that. It's hard for me. It's going to be hard for you maybe. But if you change it, learn what you need to learn, apply what you learn, change the way you think from consumer to investor, you yourself will not be limited to how much money you can make now, how much money you can make in the future, nor will you be limited in how much residual or ongoing income you can make. Now, look, I am not getting paid to do this. As a matter of fact, my back is hurting right now. That's why I move so much. That's why I move around on camera, move my hands all over the freaking place, because I have a lot of pain. Well, you know, I want to be out of pain, but it takes money to get the proper operations and or therapies, and the insurance that I am fortunate enough to have does not at this time really cover good specialists. It takes money. Almost everything in life takes money. And yes, I know you hear some drumming in the background. I know it's distracting, it's bugging me a little bit, but you know what? People have a right to live. So we're just gonna deal with it. All right? Now, I did a lot of talking, gave you some good ideas. Hopefully your mind is already starting to change, but let me give you some hard facts. The educational system for the Scott Yancey education, real estate education, and it would be better if you go to scottyancey.com and you can learn what it's actually called, because I don't actually know the name of the program. But I will tell you, to get in there, you're going to be paying about $2,000 for your education. Now you might say, oh my God, I don't have $2,000. $2,000 is almost nothing. Think about what a college student pays in 1 year. Now multiply that by 4 years. And if they get a master's degree, multiply that by 5 or 6. And if they become a doctor, multiply that by other things like medical school and training. You're looking at, what, $500,000 or more dollars. You can get an education that can change your life for $2,000. And in comparison to what it takes to become a doctor or just to graduate from any college, $2,000 is nothing. Okay, that might piss you off, but it isn't nothing. Okay, really. I know. I'm a broke asteroid man at this time. $2,000 is a lot of money for a lot of us. But even us, who are extremely broke, if we look into it and analytically and logically, $2,000 is nothing. You can't go to college for $2,000. You can't get a 4-year degree for $2,000. You can't get a master's degree. You can't become a doctor for only spending $2,000. But you can get an education on how to buy real estate and have a cash flow, positive cash flow. You can get an education on how not to buy real estate. You can get an education on where to buy it, what types of sales are good, what types of sales are not so good. And the Scott Yancey program will almost hold your hand. Now, with all this stuff about Scott Yancey and joining this program, you're probably thinking I'm getting paid from them and I'm an affiliate or something. Well, guess what? They don't even know I'm doing this. I'm not getting a dime from them. And I will never get a dime from them until I am able to come up with the $2,000 and because of their teaching, earn money in real estate. But right now, I may be doing a commercial unofficially for them, but I'm not getting anything out of it. So what's in it for me? Your happiness is in it for me. You see, it was called Happiness Forever. That's what I titled it, right? Happiness Forever. That's what I want for you. Happiness forever. And again, I don't mean forever, but you will be able to have enough money in your life to the point where money will become no object if you learn this stuff and apply it. You may never make a penny no matter how much you apply it. We can't guarantee it. But if you look at it from a mathematical equation and you analyze it, the more education that you have in your life, the better income, more income you make. Now that's not something that Al Torcaso came up with. It's not something with Scott Yancey. That is a scientific fact. You don't believe me? Go to your local library, check online, call a couple of college professors, call the federal government. The more education you have, the more income you have in your lifetime. So, let's say you pay the $2,000, you go to this program, and your life starts to change in a positive financial way. What's that worth to you? It's worth more than $2,000, right? But you know what? I know where you are at with the money, the fears you have. And maybe, you don't have it right now. But maybe you do. So this is where you might want to stop, get a notepad, type it on your computer. This is where the hard part of this video really comes in. And I do mean hard. So I'm going to give you a few seconds. And we're going to listen to somebody playing drums or whatever it is in the background. Boom, boom, boom. You hear that? Boom, boom. See if you can hear it. Yeah, there you go. Now, get your pen or pencil, get your paper. You say you don't have $2,000 to invest in this company and learn and get the education of a lifetime, right? You say you don't have that money. What if I can prove to you that you do? What if I can challenge you and absolutely, irrefutably prove you have the money? Would you then at least consider improving your life by trying this, some other program, or whatever? Would you try it? Because if you would, you're going to get a life changer. But let me do a little pause for a minute. All right, we had a couple of University of Pittsburgh college students walking by. See, they're investing in their life. They're investing in their education. So I told you can do this. They'll spend a lot more than $2,000. Trust me on that. Now, let's get back to the business at hand. If I can prove to you irrefutably that you have the money, will you at least consider, if you don't want to put out $2,000, join one of my businesses. Join me in Amway. Join me with Organo Gold. Join me with the Empower Network. And before we end this, I'm going to tell you something exciting about Organo Gold and the coffee line that I'm part of. Something that recently happened that should make you feel 1,000 times better about being on one of my teams. Now, let's get back to your homework. We got to get this done. You're going to probably have to pause this. Remember where you left off. You may not get back to this for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, but get back to it. I need you to make a budget right now of every bill that you pay every month, every week, month, or year. Okay? Well, no, let's make it easier. I want you to add up every bill that you pay for 1 month's time and every penny you spend. I don't care if it's on bubble gum. I want you to add it up. And if you have to come back 3 weeks from now to finish this piece of the video with your homework, add it up. Now I want you to calculate your food, your clothing, your transportation, your taxes, your mortgage, your gas, your electric, your water, your trash bill, whatever it is. If you are spending money, that is called a negative cash flow. I want you to add up every little penny you spend in a month. Go ahead. Now, I'm going to give you a little help. Oh, rent also. If you don't own a home, how much is your rent per month? How much is your utilities? Are they included? Whatever. Every penny needs to be added up. Now I'm going to throw something at you, and it's going to hit you real hard. So I'm going to give you a second to sit down, if you're not. This is going to hit you like a brick, because I just, honestly, right here, right now, I just proved to you that you can afford $2,000 investment. I absolutely proved it to you right here, right now. So sit down, because if you don't, you might fall down. If your rent is $500 a month, in 4 months, you're spending $2,000. In 4 months of rent, you could get into that plan. You can learn how to sell real estate, buy and sell real estate. You can learn how to have more money once you get the education, how to potentially have more money in your lifetime than you ever could even conceive of. You have the $2,000. I just proved it. I just proved it. If you have a $500 rent every 4 months, you're looking at $2,000. Okay. Now you're saying, well, my rent's only $250. Okay, $250, right? Guess what? 2 months, you got yourself $500. 4 months, you got $1,000. 8 months, less than a year, you can pay to learn an education that can make you a millionaire. And you say, okay, well, guess what, Al? My rent's only $100. So what? It's only $100. What about a year and a half? Bingo. I don't know anybody's rent that's $100, first of all. But let's just say you came up with that. Well, in 12 months, that's $1,200, isn't it? In 1 year. That leaves you with $800. I think you could scrape up $800 somewhere. But here's the thing. If you're spending more, $500 or more on rent or mortgage, you have this money. Now I know what you're saying. I know what you may be saying. Yeah, well, if I spend all that money, what happens if I do this and I can't pay the rent? What happens is then you got to come up with the money. You got to figure out a way to come up with that $500. And yeah, your butt will be in a bind if you don't come up with it. But that's the old brain thinking. The new brain, the investment brain, says, well, here's the deal. I'm going to talk to my wife or girlfriend. We're going to do this $2,000 plan. But if we do it, we have to make it work. We have to make it work. We don't have no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just like I told Annette, we have to be successful in the Empower Network. I told Annette we have to be successful in Organo Gold. We have to be successful in our investments. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I got a little surprise for you about the Scott Yancey system. You put your $2,000 in, and if you buy one positive cash flow property within 90 days, that's 3 months, you know what happens to you then? You get your $2,000 in a refund. Hold on a minute, wait a minute. I'm gonna fall down, right? That's what you're thinking, right? That's right, they're almost paying you to learn a system that can create wealth for you. They're teaching you how to be a millionaire. Well, how to be an investor. Let's go with investor. How to be an investor that could potentially change your life financially forever. And on top of that, you have a chance to get that money back as long as you buy one qualifying property within 90 days. And by the way, their qualifying properties doesn't mean anything about them. You don't have to buy what they want you to buy. You can buy any freaking property in the entire planet as long as it has a positive cash flow. Don't have to buy it through them. Don't have to have anything to do with them. If it has a positive cash flow and you provide the documents, you can get your $2,000 tuition back. Now, I don't know about you, but I would say I'm gonna do my budget, figure out how soon I can buy this plan. So you might think, well, I'm doing a commercial for them. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be very blunt. If you don't like profanity, you might want to take this off for a few seconds. I'm gonna be extraordinarily blunt. I am not an asshole. I am not an idiot. I'm not a jackass. I know when a plan is legitimate, and I know that it's a life changer. I'm going to get that money. Legally, I'm going to get that money. I'm going to be in this plan. So guess what? Not to be mean, but let me get a little bit closer. You can only see my head. Guess what? I'm going to tell you something. If you don't join me in any of my plans, like the Organo Gold, or the Empower Network, or Amway, or you don't go out on your own and join Scott Yancey's education and learn, make your money, whether you do it or not, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna make money. And I'm gonna be very wealthy. So quite honestly, without trying to be mean, what you do or do not do is not going to adversely affect me. Now, with regards to Amway, if you don't join, or the Empower Network, if you don't join, or even Organo Gold, if you don't buy coffee, yeah, that could theoretically adversely affect me. But that's why I will be definitely getting involved with investing in real estate. Because once I invest in real estate, there's no multi-level marketing. There's no dependence upon people maybe buying my coffee, even though it's the second most consumed drink on earth. So far, haven't got a lot of sales. Even though coffee is the second most consumed product on earth, I haven't gotten a lot of sales yet, but then I haven't asked a lot of people yet. But if you don't join me in the Organo Gold, if you don't join me in Amway, if you don't join me in the Empower Network, the sad fact is that I don't really need to be completely dependent on that. Once I have the money, I don't really need you theoretically, and I don't mean this as an insulting way, but with Organo Gold, I need to get people to join. Or to people to buy. With the Empower Network, I need people to either join or buy. With Amway, I need people to join or buy my products. So I'm dependent on what actions you may take or somebody else may take. Now, I'm not saying these aren't great businesses. Hey, every one of these businesses have made billions of dollars and will continue to make billions of dollars, whether you're in it or I'm in it or Joe Schmo's in it. Okay? So it really isn't dependent upon us. Hold on while the helicopter or jet or whatever it is goes by. But what I'm trying to implore to you is if you get involved with real estate, people need a place to live. And you can make money in real estate. And by the way, the real estate market is booming again. It's starting to boom again. That's money in your pocket. So, again, if you haven't done it yet, if you're just listening to this video and you're just thinking, well, let's just hear Mr. Loudmouth talk for a few more minutes. Don't do that. I'm not that arrogant. I don't need to have you listen to me. You need to listen and take action. Learn how fast you can get to $2,000. And the sad fact is you will probably get in there and start making money before I can afford it, because I have less than $700 a month to live on. It's gonna take me possibly 6 months to a year, but I'm going to do it. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about Organo Gold, a little bit about Amway, and a little bit about Empower. These are good businesses. Yes, you will have to get people to join them, or products need to be sold. But Amway has the best cosmetic line on earth and the best vitamins on earth. How do I know? Because independent laboratories and magazines and whatever have certified them and given them rewards and whatever. Awards. As far as Organo Gold's concerned, this is some of the healthiest, best gourmet coffee you can get on the market. And you can make a good markup, a good profit every time you retail one of those coffees. And as you get people in your downline to join you, every time they make some money and they're in your group, you make some money. So they get help, they get educated, they make money, and you make money. Now, I did say earlier that you're dependent upon people joining you or buying your product. That is true. But it's no reason not to take action. Believe me, if you don't take action on the Amway, if you don't take action on the Organo Gold, then I strongly suggest you take action on the Empower Network that will teach you about marketing. And they have fantastic products and 100% commission on everything that a person decides to join or buy. That means that say you're in there and they buy the blogging system. Every month you'll get $25. Then you might think, well, $25 ain't nothing. Try that times 10. That's $250. Try that times 100. That's $2,500. Now, if I told you were going to get $2,500 per month for as long as those members stay, and that they stay for a year, that's what? About $25,000. That's more than most Americans make. Now, what if you had 1,000 people? What if you had 10,000 people? Not everybody's going to join under your downline, but a lot of people will join the blogging system. That's still $25 in your pocket. But here's the kicker on the Empower Network. They have other products, like the Inner Circle. If somebody comes in and they join the Inner Circle, then that means you're getting $125 from that person. If they decide to join some of the other things like the Costa Rica Intensive, or the $15,000 15K, or the Masters Leadership, I believe it's something like Leadership Masters, something like that. You know what? You could be potentially making $5,000 off that person and helping them. Let's not just think about you making money. Okay, I know it's all about the money, but how about all about humanity? Let's say it's all about humanity. You can make money, I want to make the money, but let's help other people make the money. So the Empower Network is a fantastic investment from you. Now, I almost forgot something very important. We talked about the real estate, how it can and will change your life once you learn it. We talked about the initial investment of $2,000. To get into Organo Gold, it's less than $215. As a matter of fact, you can actually get into it for $49. You can get your membership. But if you need the product, it's going to cost you about $78 to get one box. But if you will put out $200, you'll get something like 8 boxes of product, and you'll be able to generate an instant income as soon as you can get people to sell. So that's $215 or less for Organo Gold. Now, you might say, well, how much is Amway to get in? If you join Amway, get in there for roughly $208. But you could go in for just $62, but again, you're kind of left hanging because you don't have any products to sell. If you spend out the $208, you're gonna have a kit. You can sell real product. Okay, now what's the Empower to join? Well, you remember that the Scott Yancey education, $2,000. It's worth every penny, but it's $2,000. Amway, $208. Organo Gold, guess what? We're looking at about $215. The Empower Network, to start out, $25 a month. $25. $25. That's only $300 for an entire year. So, now that we've done all this talking, I asked you if you would take action. Now, I said you could be happy the rest of your life. I want to make you happy forever. Happy forever, right? Wouldn't you be happy forever if you never had to worry about where your money is coming from? Wouldn't you be happy forever if you did something 1 month that caused you to get residual money for the rest of your life? Or maybe you bought a piece of real estate that you decided to rent out and you had a positive cash flow of $1,000 a month for as long as that person stayed there. And this company, by the way, will actually teach you about Section 8. And Section 8 has changed to the point where the people who live in there cannot destroy your home. If they do, they will be evicted by you and Section 8, and they will not be allowed back into the Section 8 program for 7 years. So the Section 8 program is now a cash windfall. And that's just one thing they teach you in that program. But let's get back down to the basics. $25 a month gets you into the Empower. You're gonna have a link in this video, in the description, wherever I put it, you'll always have a link, except on Facebook, because they won't let me have it there. They won't let us have it there for some crazy reason. But if you go to humanitymatters.org or YouTube, Twitter, blah, 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 you'll be able to get access to the video and ultimately the link. $25 to get into the Empower Network and join my team. Yeah, I was going like this, but the video is too far down. But you can join my team for just $25 a month. Now, to be an affiliate, it's an extra $19, so you're looking at roughly $50 a month. $50 a month, $540 a year that can change your life. That's the Empower. Now let's go back to Amway. It's $215 roughly to get in. I think $208, $215, somewhere around there to get in. But the problem with that is you're gonna have to find a way to sell product and get people into it. And what they want you to do is restructure how you buy items. Instead of spending your money at a big box store, buy some items from yourself. That's one of the things they want to do. But Amway is between $208, $215, I think it was. Now we go to Organo Gold. If you go into the $200 level at Organo Gold, it may be a little bit higher on the shipping, I don't know, it's roughly $200. You'll get, I believe, 8 boxes of product. And each box has at least 10 to 15 sample packets. That's money you could be making. Give you an idea once this helicopter or jet goes by. Let me give you a quick idea. If you have the latte, you instruct your buyers, whoever buys it, to make it with 6 to 8 ounces of water. It's an 8-ounce cup of coffee. It's an 8-ounce cup of basically latte. You know, the Starbucks fun stuff. So it's 8 ounce of latte that you can actually sell it for as little as $1.75 per sample, and you can make a profit. Now you can also sell it as high as $5 and make a profit. But that's immediate cash flow in your pocket. So we want to definitely talk about those things. But what should you be doing right now? You should be doing your budget that I talked to you about, figuring out which of these items or systems you're going to join, or if you're going to join one or more of them. Personally, I think you should join the real estate, and I think you should try either the Empower Network, Organo Gold, or maybe Amway. And you notice I went like maybe Amway. Amway of the three is going to be the most difficult to convince people to join, in my opinion. Now why? Because it requires spending more money over time. Are the products worth it? Yes, they're fantastic products, but they're not exactly inexpensive. You're going to have to explain and educate to the consumer why they should be putting that money out. Here we go with the helicopter again. You see what it's like living and doing things on location? And just so that you know, the reason why I do it on location now, I mean, I like the nature, first of all. But another reason is my lighting for my studio at home, which is really just a green screen. Well, the light broke and I couldn't afford to get a new light yet. So that's why I'm out and about being chilly and all that fun stuff. But let's get back to the business at hand. If I had to choose between Amway, Organo Gold, and the Empower Network, of the three, I would pick Empower Network because it's the least expensive. I would go with Empower Network. Now, I could also easily say I would go with Organo Gold because you can get paid right away once you get your product. But I promised you some exciting, maybe fall off your chair news, right? I got to tell you a story about Organo Gold, except it's not really a story at all. I got one of my family members to join Organo Gold. And ironically, he had the money, so he joined before me. So I'm in his downline as opposed to him being in mine. But there's nothing wrong with that. I'm happy that he's in. I have to tell you something incredibly exciting. He has made enough money in only being in it about 6 weeks. That's less than 2 months. He's made enough money in Organo Gold products that he was able to quit one of his extra jobs that he does part-time to have extra money. So he's made enough money that he was able to quit a job. That's Organo Gold. Now you're gonna see the links here. So I want you to think about that. The man has already made enough money to quit, and he's in negotiations with something that could possibly make him about anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 with just one person, because it's a company that's interested in buying a whole lot of product. So you see, Organo Gold works. It worked already for my family member. So here, you were thinking this is just Long-Winded L being full of crap. Long-Winded L helped his family member, and Long-Winded L is going to continue to help his family member. And he told his family member about the Scott Yancey stuff. So his family member and Albert, myself, that's right, me, we're going to be millionaires. And that is a given. We will be millionaires. Now, I hate to say this, but we're going to be millionaires, my friends, with or without you. We're going to be happy forever, with or without you. Annette's going to be smiling and profiling, with or without you. So it really comes down to, will you take action now? Do you want to live for death, or do you want to live for life? What's living for death, by the way, real quickly? Living for death is waiting on a check from your job and hoping that the next day or the next week gets here because you're broke. So you're like, oh, I can't wait till Friday, it's payday. If you're living for another payday because you're broke, you're actually living for death. How do I determine that? How do I define that? If you're saying I can't wait till Friday or whatever day it is for my paycheck because I'm broke, you're actually hoping that if it's Monday, that 5 days of your life that you can never get back, 5 days of your life will disappear. You will have lived them and they will expire and they will disappear so that you can get paid on Friday. You're hoping that those 5 days of your life go so you can get paid on Friday. You never thought of it as living for death. Most people wouldn't. But that's what it is. But what I'm telling you to do, what I'm imploring you to do, what I'm teaching you to do is how to get involved with programs that will teach you how and provide you with the education and, quite frankly, the funding. Ultimately, when you buy your first home and make a profit, you will learn and get the money needed to live for life. Happy forever is what you can be. Happy and not worried about where your next dollar is coming from. You don't have to worry about that boss that's, quite frankly, arrogant, mean, or wants to fire you. You can have true freedom, but you can't do it unless you take action. So I implore you to take action now. I implore you to like this video wherever it is, to subscribe if you can, wherever it is, and of course, make comment. And I don't care how long-winded I have been. I'm talking about changing your life from a stress-filled, not enough money in your life, to a happy knowing you can provide for your family forever kind of lifestyle. From living for death to living for life. So if I were you, whether you love me, you hate me, you think I'm full of garbage or not, I would take every one of the links that you will find in this post and investigate them as if your life depended on it, because my friends, the truth is your life does depend on it. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're not having a good life. If you can't afford to get that extra supply for your son or your daughter, you're not living for life. And if you have to wake up on a Monday hoping that Friday hurries up so you can get a paycheck, you're not living for life. So you know what? Right now, I'm gonna get out of here. But you know what? If you don't do this, I'm still gonna end up a millionaire. You're not, if you don't do it. Take action now. Go to the Empower Network. Go to Organo Gold. Go to ScottYancey.com. Take action now. Take action now. Take action now. And remember that you and humanity and all forms of life really does matter.